literally nothing. This is what it feels like, except for a roof over my head, which good, thank God. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
And I can buy
a nice one.
And I can buy a plant every now and then.
Yeah, you have a nice, comfortable situation.
Yes, but also still poor. So it's like
oh, right.
It's like
life is interesting that way.
Can't complain though.
We just work and we work and we work.
Honestly,
and
that's fun. But you know what? I can't complain. I truly can't. I could have it way worse. Much worse.
True.
So
yeah. But you know who doesn't have it any worse? Or you know who has it worse?
Everyone who played in the movie where the Crawdads Sing.
Exactly.
They have it way worse. Although
yes,
it is debatable. I have some thoughts on this movie, which is what we're doing, everyone. Hi. Should we introduce ourselves?
I think so too. Everyone, welcome to the podcast. I am John.
I am Travis.
And this is Mean Girls Interrupted, where we review a movie.
Spoil it.
That we both have watched, as we spoil the heck out of it. And then we talk about it and review it, I guess.
We review it. We review it in the sense that we kind of decide whether or not we liked it. And then we base it off of 10, whatever we think at the end.
Yeah, this one's probably going to be like where the Crawdads Sing fall on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Crawdads who don't ever sing and that you never see.
Yeah, a bunch of Sebastians. None of them. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You know, if
I could.
all of these crawdads could sing.
You're right. I thought they were going to like cut away a bunch of crawdads like in an orchestra or something.
Did you ever used to go crawdad fishing?
Yes.
Me as well. I used to love it.
It was always a river excursion.
And you would get your little hot dogs or your ham and tie it to the string and hope that those little bastards bite.
Yeah, we would take it a step further. I don't think
dynamite.
Yes, dynamite into because they're always like burrowed in this little underhang in the river where like the tide isn't like super crazy, but or the current isn't super crazy. And and so I think there was one time I have this distinct memory of crawdad fishing. We had like nylon twine.
Yes,
and,
of course.
And we like kind of like hooked this little rope cage around like this giant slab of meat, like raw meat.
Yeah.
And then we lowered that raw meat. It was like a brisket meat. Like these crawdads were getting treated to a meal.
Well, I mean,
so that we could be treated to a meal.
Yes, of course.
And so we just like lowered it down into this little crawdad burrow. And you couldn't see any crawdads, and you're like, it's kind of just rolling the dice. And then whenever we pulled it up, covered in crawdads who had no idea what was about to happen to them.
And their demise was imminent.
Yeah. And you basically just like wreak a genocide on this little colony of crawdads.
Yeah. It's pretty much a bummer. But you know what?
Yeah.
The circle of life.
It is a circle of life because I'm pretty sure I didn't eat one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know why.
That's okay. You didn't have to.
I think I was like in 4th grade and I probably wouldn't have enjoyed that very much.
I don't know. My neighbor used to go crawdadding with us, and he would take them home, throw them into the boiling water where they would proceed to cough up all the murk that was still inside of their little mouths, like the sand and stuff. And then they would slowly boil to death, and he would eat them.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
Boil.
Yep. So good for them.
Crawdadding. So that's where the inspiration of the Crawdads singing comes from, maybe.
Yeah, because they're
them dying in a pot.
Honestly, probably dying in a pot.
Crawdads screaming to their death.
Do you think they screech? I've never heard it, and I don't want to.
Me neither. I think you're supposed to kill them now before you boil them.
Are you?
Yeah, you just do like a knife through the head.
Oh, well, I won't be doing that anymore.
I remember it was similar with crabs in Galveston, Texas. There's like you can just like put a net out into the beach.
I thought you were talking about the ones you put shampoo on.
Yes,
those crabs
too. Galveston, Texas is perfect for that. But yeah, so like we were visiting somebody. I was young. I was like in the second grade or something like that. And they took us crab fishing. We cast the net, got all the crabs, and then I watched them cook it in the kitchen afterward. And there were just all these crabs of like a variety of different species, I guess. They were just like crawling around in the sink with like the water coming down on them. And I was like, interesting. And then I was just like fascinated by watching the crab, and then a hand comes by and picks up the crab, tosses it into boiling water. I was like, okay, this is what we're doing today. These are not pets.
No, they are not dinner. Pets. They are food.
Yeah, exactly.
If you eat them, if you don't, we're so sorry. Trigger warning to all of you.
Yeah, I think they were made into a tamale, actually, because we were visiting this really nice Mexican family in Galveston. Yeah, it was like the parents of a close family friend, and I think like her grandmother wasn't doing too well, so like my mom took me and one of my brothers along with her to be a friend through a hard time in Galveston, Texas, and we spent a lot of time on the beach.
Damn,
it was nice.
John, I really want to try a crab tamale now.
Yeah, I'm just going based off of my second grader memory, but like I think they know that they were making tamales, but maybe it was a different time.
John, I believe second graders more than I do adults.
Yeah, me too, because adults carry a lot. Adults have agendas. They cannot be trusted, and they're out to get you. Yeah. And so are second graders, in my opinion.
Well, some of them are. Some of them are pure evil.
I remember second grade was like, I felt like the slow one, because it seemed like everybody else had they had dynamics with each other, like social dynamics. And I had like nothing to, I didn't want to do any of that.
John,
but
that's okay.
Yeah. Where are we going today?
We're going to,
I'm going off the rails.
Where we are going though, is we're going to the Carolinas, which is where the movie Where the Crawdads Sings takes place.
It does. And you know what else happens here? So Where the Crawdads Sing is based off of the hit bestseller book of the same name by Delia Owens. And it's like a beloved novel, apparently.
Yeah, it was made into a, oh yeah, of course.
Like people love this book.
Yeah, there was some controversy surrounding this movie, but I didn't care to look it up.
Ooh, controversy.
Only in the sense that everyone who watched it and had read the book prior probably didn't like it.
It was hated.
It was a Dark Tower moment.
Yeah, I kind of can get that vibe just from watching the movie and not having read the book.
I didn't read the book either, and I was very like, I was
also let down.
I'm very on the fence about this movie.
Interesting. But whatever the case, we have to say it's directed by Olivia Newman.
Yes.
Who is a person.
She is. That's correct.
And she has done other movies apparently.
Oh.
And it's notably produced by Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, well, yes. Reese Witherspoon. There was someone else attached to this, and I know that Taylor Swift chose to write and sing a song called Carolina about this movie only because Reese Witherspoon was attached. And there was one other person whose name I can't remember, probably the actress, who is...
Daisy Edgar-Jones.
Yes, who, by the way, I have no clue who she is. She's very pretty.
Yes, she is from... Excuse me.
I won't. But thank you.
That's what she's from.
Yes.
So Daisy Edgar-Jones is from Normal People fame, which is a show that came out on Hulu during the pandemic, and like everybody freaked out about, like everybody loved Normal People.
Well, I didn't watch it, so
yeah, she's the lead in there, and then this movie happens. She's on the up and up.
Well, good for her.
She was also, it's like she has she has that every person pretty quality, and
which
then
I
like
appreciate.
angles happen and you're like, oh
yeah, which I appreciate. I like the every person pretty.
Yeah. And she is talented.
She's not
I appreciate what she was doing. Yeah, I think she's British.
She's not from the States. I know that she had to have a coach, a dialect coach for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's like trying to cross over and like take America.
Well,
take Hollywood.
Listen, honestly, send your imports. The ones here,
lackluster
boring.
Americans as usual.
Boring.
We got Ryan Gosling, we got Jake Gyllenhaal, and we got another one that looks exactly like them somewhere
in the fold.
And they do action movies.
Yep.
We
have Jared Leto, however.
Right. We have that.
We have that one. Send him away.
Yeah. Whenever I think of Jared Leto, I just see his weird eyes.
His beady eyes, dude. What did he do to his face? I'm not joking. And I don't know.
Something happened along the way.
John, there was a cosmetic procedure that has done something to his face, and it looks
You've heard it here first.
Weird. This is all
we are
alleged.
Breaking the story here.
Listen, I don't have any info. This is just my opinion. I truly think, in my opinion, he has had some work done.
If you were to rate Jared Leto's eyes on a scale of 1 out of 10 emaciated performances by Jared Leto, how many where would he fall?
He would fall on like 10 John Wayne Gacy's.
Yeah. I bet he has fallen on 10 John Wayne Gacy's.
John, there's just something. There's something off.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say. But speaking of opinions, John and I are entitled to ours as you are yours. And we are going to tell you our opinion of this movie later on down the road. But we like to tell you.
And we are the authority on movie reviews.
Honestly, as far as podcasts go and two nobodies who nobody knows, we are someone you should come to.
I have a bone to pick.
Yes, please pick it.
Before we dive into where the Crawdads Sing. Do you like that?
I did like that.
Yeah.
Before we dive head first.
There's a lot of water in this.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I forgot what I was going to say.
It was something about us being nobodies, and then you were picking bones and stuff.
Oh, right. Celebrities, get off of podcasts. This was our thing first, and then you come around, and everybody can't help but only listen to celebrities now.
Why?
And then celebrities being interviewed on podcasts is now like the whole rage. It's even more of a rage than it was before.
Well, you want to know?
It's crazy.
It bothers me because I'm like, you already have everything. Can you leave something for us? Leave us some crumbs, you cunts.
Right. Because that's like kind of what happened with YouTube. YouTube was a way that regular nobodies could actually monetize, and then celebrities came in.
Yeah, and we're like, let's get more cash. Go away.
Celebrities and studios came in, and studios are coming into the podcast thing too. Yeah, Amazon owns Wondery and Audible.
Yeah,
crazy.
I don't know. They need to go away.
I know.
I'm sick of it. Unless they want to come on here.
I am a total come all over these Mean Girls Interrupted.
Actually, if not one single celebrity showed up on here, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's true.
What,
I don't even
what difference would it make if they showed up? Be like, oh, we interviewed this person. We don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. Go make your millions.
If you're a celebrity listening to us right now, email us at meangirlsinterrupted@gmail.com. All one word, obviously. And have your assistant do it. We know you're not doing it. Yeah, or just text us at 928. I'm just kidding. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so where the Crawdads Sing, Travis.
John.
It's starring Daisy Edgar-Jones, Taylor John Smith as Tate.
Taylor John Smith. What a white bread name.
Yeah, they're like, oh, so what's your heritage?
Taylor John Smith?
Yeah. I'm a white American.
God. Is he American? He could very well be from somewhere else for all we know.
I mean, he could be whatever he wants.
John,
I mean,
he has to be from Middle America, because that is a Middle America name.
That is an Indiana name.
For real. It's either Indiana
the forgotten U.S. state of Indiana.
Or Ohio.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely an Ohio name. More specifically, Cleveland.
God, we can't. Okay, who's the next one?
Harris Dickinson, who plays the bad boy.
Harris
not
Dickinson?
Good for Daisy. Harris Dickinson, but he is English, and that sounds like a very English name.
John, it sounds waspy. He sounds like he's from Connecticut.
I mean, did you see his row of veneers?
Yeah, I saw his row of veneers, his freaking chompers. He had
his fucking chompers. It took me out of it because this was a period piece.
John had TV teeth for real.
It's like, you can't be in the 60s with veneers.
No.
It takes me out.
Yeah, no.
But good for him. They were probably really, really bad.
They are beautiful teeth.
They're, I mean, alarmingly so. Like Disney Prince
cartoon. Those are animated teeth.
Yeah, like Disney animated. And we have David Strathairn, who plays the lawyer.
Oh, good.
So yes, basically, what we're trying to tell everyone here is that the cast is attractive.
The cast is attractive.
It's like, you can't sit with us unless you are a 10 or above.
No, really. The cast is actually quite
They're
beautiful.
all 10s. It's weird. And also, which threw me, because this is a story that revolves around the character of Kaya Clark,
who is Marsh Girl.
She plays Marsh Girl, but she does not look like a Marsh Girl as an adult.
John, she didn't
a teenager.
look like a Marsh Girl even as a young child. She just looked like
slapped some dirt on her face. They like, what are you doing?
They took her shoes off. They said, "No socks for you, miss. And here is some dirt on your face." No.
Also, you're adorable.
No, really. Like, all the way up to being an adult. I'm like, okay, you're not a Marsh Girl. This is not real. Yeah. You have every tooth in your head.
All of your teeth.
Yes.
And also, okay.
John, do you know what Swamp People, for those of you who have watched Swamp People, they're people who hunt alligators. Not a single one of them has a full set of teeth, and they are true marsh people. Okay.
And the teeth that they do have are rounded.
They have been sharpened by chewing on rocks.
They're rounded. The gums have receded from meth. So they look very like really long teeth, and you can kind of see the roots.
John, long in the tooth. Is it meth or is it old age? We will never know.
Right.
Because
and also,
if you do meth, you
swamp
age.
People.
Right.
Kaya has pearly white teeth.
John, I'm telling you, it doesn't make a whole ton of sense.
The genetics
But the thing is like, in this movie, and we can justify it this way, is she grew up 5 miles outside of the town, but she was still an outsider.
Still an outsider, but also, like, she didn't learn to read good.
She didn't learn to write good neither.
Yeah, so she has a very, I'm just saying, like, for a very dark back history for her character, Daisy Edgar-Jones does not pass as a swamp girl who raised herself in a swampland.
No.
Not one bit. Her hair is great hair.
John, I'm not joking. Cut it all off. You could make a beautiful wig out of that head of hair.
Whenever we cut to her, like, as like sort of an older teenager, and she starts to encounter Tate, who has a long time boyhood crush on her. We see her in that moment, and she's been isolated for years at this point, and her hair it's in like this bunchy, stylish braid, and she has several different parts up top, and it is conditioned. It is clean.
So clean.
But not just clean on a dry, it is hydrated.
John, it looks like it smells amazing.
It looks like it's also filled with a little bit of extensions to fill it out.
Oh.
And I'm like, you are not a swamp witch.
No, she is. See, those extensions, John, they fooled you.
Did they?
They did. Those are tracks.
Tell me how.
They're made out of swamp moss. She has.
Interesting.
She has added it to her hair.
And you know, swamp moss is notoriously like luscious and clean and shiny.
Yeah, of course. And it always matches the same color of your own hair.
Exactly. It's a perfect dark auburn brown hair.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous. Also, skin underneath that very thin, patchy, like dirt work that's very artfully put on there. A beautiful skincare routine from a swamp witch. Well, that's what she gets for this. Like yes.
I'll tell you this. A, the humidity will work wonders on your skin. B, if she truly is covered in mud constantly and there's minerals in that, her skin's going to be flawless.
You know what? True. And very solid point. But I will raise the point to you that she has been down and dirty, surviving off the land over here. Not one scar. She's a teenager whenever we first meet Daisy Edgar-Jones, and she has not one zit on that face.
Not a single.
I wanted spotty, patchy skin. Like, come on, be a teenager.
Honestly,
but this movie is like this heightened, romanticized account of the
talk
book.
About romanticized. Listen, who was the casting director of Gummo? Because that's who we needed.
That's definitely.
That is who we needed.
They were swamp people in a Burger King.
Dude, Gummo, what I love about that, and we'll just say this, Gummo hit the nail on the head with casting because they truly did cast out of a Burger King random people in town. And it felt so insane outside of Chloe Sevigny because all of these people should have been in Where the Crawdads Sing.
I know, right? Like, so
who was the casting director? Let's not go there. I don't care.
Do we want to out the David Rubin?
Oh, hi, David.
I love a good Rubin.
I do love a good Rubin.
But so he's a very high-end, classy studio casting director.
David, hi. We do know you're listening, actually.
He's been around for quite a long time. He did The Talented Mr. Ripley. Also a beautiful cast.
John, I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah,
Hollywood hates ugly people.
Lars and the Real Girl. Also Ryan Gosling.
Also that doll that they cast, beautiful.
I know, right? Hot. And also Big Little Lies, which also beautiful cast.
You know,
you got your Laura Dern, you got your Reese Witherspoon.
You have your Nicole Kidmans. You have your, at one point, Meryl Streep showed up for whatever.
And screams at some children at a dinner table.
Yeah, so you have all of these. Shailene Woodley, who is the next door girl, pretty.
Yes.
All of the same things.
Zoe Kravitz.
Oh, God. Obviously. You know what, though? Take me to church, because Zoe Kravitz is so gorgeous, dude.
Smoking.
Like, literally that face. But we're not talking about her. Do we want to
do what I want to see? Dream casting, by the way.
Yeah. For what?
If we were to recast
this movie?
Just any whatever. Okay, just dream cast in whatever movie. Okay, so we're going Zoe Kravitz.
Yes.
Now for me it's Gemma Chan.
Okay, yes, of course. Gemma Chan is freaking
and we're just going off of looks and smoky hotness alone.
Oh. Okay, of course, Zoe Kravitz. Yes, Gemma Chan.
Yes.
Obviously, we cannot forget the Margot Robbie of it all.
The Margot Robbie is solidifying herself as a Hollywood legend.
Dude. Yeah.
She's just slipping right in there.
Dude, I love this. It was so seamless for her. But you know what? Everyone else needs a chance because, of course, she's a pretty white girl who Hollywood loves.
Very, very true.
So, let's say, who else do we want?
You know who I was like? Letitia Wright is
I know who you're speaking of.
She's extraordinarily slinky and skinny and like has a very like definitive look.
Yes.
But work.
Yeah. Also, let's not forget Vanessa Hudgens. So
I mean, okay. Like
it's fine. Should we get into this movie?
But I mean, like, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Of course, obviously. Anya Taylor-Joy. But dude, look at her. I mean, is it really?
Oh, right. And obviously, my current obsession is Florence Pugh, Tessa Thompson.
No, let's not forget Tessa Thompson. Also, let's give Keke Palmer a chance up in here.
Oh, did you watch Saturday Night Live last night?
No, I did not. She on it? She hosting?
She hosted it, and there's a very fun surprise.
Is there really?
During her monologue?
Okay.
I want to spoil it for you.
No, okay, I'll let you.
Can I do it?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. She's pregnant.
Are you shitting me?
No. Apparently she was forced into outing. She acknowledged it in her very funny monologue. As people like saw the picture of her and were like speculating everywhere all over the internet. And I was like, I didn't know anything about this. And I follow her very closely. So she announced it. She is like showing that she's with child, and she shows her bare belly, and she is pregnant.
Damn.
29 years old.
Good for her. You know what? Good for her, actually.
I mean, she has everything going for her. She was forced into. She took it on the chin though, but she was like forced into saying it.
That sucks. So, but you know what? You kind of got to move with. I mean, what's going to happen? She's going to have a baby. I mean, it's going to be a Naomi Campbell situation. Like one day Naomi has a baby.
Yeah. One day Naomi, she just like showed up on the cover of Vogue with the baby.
We're like, excuse me, what?
Like, sorry, what? Yeah. That was also like out of left field.
Also, I kind of like those out of left field moments because I was like, wait a minute, making a splash.
Like your PR is good.
They said, hide that baby. And so she did. She hid it in a basket somewhere for 9 months.
Yeah. Masters of PR, and we are all just tricks in that treat.
I forgot where we were. We're in the Carolinas.
Where the Crawdads did.
This is what. Let's do a quick rundown. Clearly.
Okay. Can you kick it off?
You know what? Do you mind?
I don't mind at all.
Okay.
You know what? I not only don't mind. I prefer.
Highly encourage. Okay. Yeah. So I love the encouragement. All right.
You're welcome.
So here's where we start off in this movie, and we're going to make a real quick. It's going to be a quick synopsis, and we're going to, John, if I falter, don't stop me.
Drain that swamp.
I'm going to drain that swamp. So here we go. Speaking of swamps, Where the Crawdads Sing, starring Bird Dare Birdie. And so
perfect.
Thank you. So Where the Crawdads Sings begins with a dead body. There's a dead body and some police are there and they're like, oh my God, how? And so everyone's tripping. The cops go up these stairs. Trust me, it's going to make sense later. But they go up some stairs and it's metal stairs. And they notice there's a big old hole in these stairs at the top. And these cops are podunk, and they are from the 60s, because that's when this movie takes place, between the 50s and 60s. So that's a little period piece for all of you. Now the cops roll up and they're like, whoa, this guy fell or he was pushed. And that's all you need to know. You're like, oh, and then they look down and there's a body. Well, this person who's dead, the town loves him. He was his name's
Chase Andrews.
Of course, his name is Chase Andrews.
They're like, what? You killed Chase Andrews?
They said, oh my God, it was the Swamp Girl. And so even though it's Marsh Girl, everybody blames the Marsh Girl. Okay. Who is played by who?
Schmazy and
that's it.
Gobbledygook.
Yes. So Schmazy Gobbledygook plays the Marsh Girl, and she's now in jail because everyone's like, the Marsh Girl did it.
They're like, arrest her immediately. And there was a high-speed boat chase.
John, I loved it. There was underwater tomfoolery.
Yeah, and then they just snatch her right out.
John, they pulled her out like a gator.
So fast.
For real.
They did.
They pulled her out like a gator. They threw her right in the boat.
What they did was they actually like lowered a piece of hot dog on a string, and she was like trying to get away, but couldn't resist. Yeah, because she's hungry.
Because like that movie, the one starring George Clooney where you turn into an animal, she's a crawdad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is the singing crawdad.
What was that movie called? The Lobster? They're from the same family. So
yeah.
So Daisy Schmedmergers is in jail. And
Daisy Booger Bomb.
Yes. So the Marsh Girl's in jail. What is her name? Kaya. So Kaya's in jail for let's finger air quotes, the murder of Chase Andrews.
Julie Chase Andrews.
Julie Chase Andrews is now dead, but his teeth will live on forever because they are fake. So they will never rot. They're made out of porcelain. So
I didn't think about that.
No. When you die,
so if
John,
you have veneer, if you whenever you die and you're buried in the ground, and after you and the grave robbers exhume your body, all they will find are perfectly set veneers.
John, your skull will look beautiful. It's gonna look so good. Honestly, if you're a grave robber,
they're not lying whenever like this will last a lot.
It will last an eternity.
Last for eternity.
Okay, if you're a grave robber listening to this, there's nothing good buried in there. Take the teeth, fam. Those things are expensive.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, if you were like a veneer dentist, orthodontist person, a great racket would be get into cahoots with the Undertaker.
Oh
no, the Undertaker.
Yes.
So the funeral home people, and then they can actually harvest previously owned veneers, and then you could just recycle that into somebody else's mouth and then save yourself a lot on your bottom line.
John, talk about a twisted tooth fairy. I love this. We're writing this after we're done.
Twisted Tooth Fairy. Anyway, where the Crawdads Sing.
So
David Strathern shows up and he's like, I'm going to volunteer to be your lawyer because I feel bad for you.
Honestly, he's like, sorry.
I mean, Daisy Edgar-Jones or Kaya Clark, she gets a lot of handouts based off of because people are really just sorry for her.
Or she's just really pretty. One of the two.
She's white. She's beautiful. She's
lonely.
Illiterate most of the time.
She's illiterate mostly.
Yeah. So Kaya writes a book.
She does. So what happens here is the lawyer's like, listen, they're going to put you on trial and you're either going to prison forever or they're going to put you into the ground.
And she's like, I ain't talking for nobody.
But then he goes, but for me to get you off the hook, I need to know something about you, which is where we get the story of how Kaya grows up. She opens up like a shell, mind you.
Yeah.
She does say
it. She does. She opens up like a shell. She does. What?
She said people oftentimes forget about the creatures in the shell. Something like that. Something of that nature, right?
I don't know. Something weird. I forgot about it.
Anyway.
This is all told mostly in flashback.
Yes.
So get ready. And we got time jumps. We start out as a little tiny Kaya. And she has like sisters. She's got like a brother or two.
She has a mom.
She's got a mom
which is
who's
so
like
weird.
An artist. Her mom like draws and things. And then like a dad who abuses everyone.
The ever living shit out of every person in that household.
Like hardcore, and to the point where everyone one by one runs away from the house, leaving Kaya alone with her abusive father. And she learns how to survive on her own alongside this volatile human.
John, can I just jump back to the scene when everyone starts leaving one by one? Did it not remind you of when the grandpa opens the door in Hey Arnold and all of the animals run out?
Yeah, it is very like that. Like they just kind of gloss over it and
Every
like
single
literally show people bouncing with the suitcase.
All of them. And they look to the left, they look to the right because they're like, where's dad? But they know
like
he's in the house.
They're breaking out of prison. Like, come on.
John, they are technically. What a prison that would be.
So she is left alone with a chicken and her dad.
Yeah, with chicken.
She's holding a
she
chicken.
Is holding
like
a
sad chicken.
Dude, she wipes her tears into the chicken's feathers as her brother leaves.
Yeah. And then, she grows up off the land, off the she learns how, I guess she learns some schooling. She rejects school because people make fun of her.
Her dad leaves.
And her dad ends up leaving as well after she receives a letter from her mother who's been missing for years, but the dad burns it before she can.
Well, she can't really read it anyway.
Yeah, but he won't let her see it at all. And then he trashes the house and abandons her as a child alone. And then she starts making money by harvesting clams and mussels and selling them to the local market guy.
John,
and they are basically her surrogate family there.
I love them, but also, wouldn't it have made more sense for her to harvest crawdads?
I mean, this thing is called Where the Fucking Crawdads Sing, and there's not one crawdad.
John, I didn't see a single crawdad.
There was not one crawdad.
One crawpaw, if you want to call it.
Yeah, so the where the title comes from is whenever her final brother is like about to bounce and abandon her with the crazy dad. He's like, you know what Mama always said, if things get real bad, just you know where to run, to where the crawdads sing.
Yeah, which obviously I don't know where it sounds.
Does that mean kill yourself,
John? It sounds magical.
Is he like, you know what, you can always just kill yourself?
Yeah, true. I have no clue.
Yeah,
but the mom didn't kill herself. She didn't run to where the crawdads sing.
She just abandoned her children.
Dude, she legit just left. She walked away, packed suitcase. She had a handkerchief tied above her head. Her hair was coiffed.
Yeah. Yes, coiffed and ready to go. And but so is she. Anyway, so we hop and skip and a jump, and like a Daisy Edgar Booger Bomb is now a teenager, looking hot. And she has a wardrobe and everything, but she's not supposed to.
She made it out of...
She starts S&ing some D.
Oh, she meets Tate, who she met as a child a long, long time ago. And Tate comes back into her life, and he's leaving not just a trail of breadcrumbs, but a trail of feathers for this bird.
Yeah, she's obsessed with feathers.
She loves them.
Can't get enough of birds and stuff and nature.
She loves sniffing feathers. Also, how did he know she liked feathers, and why would he just leave a feather in a tree stump every day for her to show up?
You know what? I guess that's like what...
He's baiting a trap, dude.
I guess that's what, like, right. That's what unhealthily obsessed men do to women.
Baiting a trap.
They prey upon them, and they lure them in, and they trick them.
She wasn't tricked, though. She loved... See, honestly,
she got a treat.
I'll tell you what, it was kind of a sweet gesture, because what do you do in the 50s? Sure. If you're poor...
I mean, this is like you can't just text them you up.
Of course. You can, and you're not going to write them a letter asking if you up, because that's days later. If you're going to do anything for a swamp girl, just get her like a turtle shell or something.
You know, she needs things that she needs, and he does that. He gets her a spark plug.
He does get her a spark. He gets her carrot seeds.
Yeah, she's like, this is your end.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything else. You got me.
Look, I'm ready to go. And then the fateful day they meet up at the stump together, and it's all over from there. Whirlwind romance.
Literally, it's leaves. They're like,
John, it turns into leaves. The Notebook whenever that
it does.
When the leaf tornado starts happening and they dance in it and then mac it for a minute.
The music is very romance. The lighting is very bleh.
Yeah,
it's like throw up and John, romance.
It really is. It tried to be the Notebook hard.
She doesn't see it coming. It wasn't fully erect. He leaves her.
He does.
He leaves her because he doesn't want to be in this town, and he was accepted to university, and he's like, I'm totally going to come back on the 4th of July, and I'm going to meet you right where we always go
on your beach.
And she's like, fine. And she does it. 4th of July comes around, and she stays all night waiting for him, and he never shows up.
Ever. And so John, remember, she puts on her good lipstick. It's pink. It matches her beautiful dress.
Yeah, and it's almost like she was putting lipstick on for the first time, even though every single scene before this, she was definitely wearing lipstick.
John, she was very thorough at putting that lipstick on for someone who is supposed to be very marshy.
Yeah, I need Swamp Witch putting on lipstick.
Do you know what they should have named her? Marsha.
It was a real missed opportunity, Travis.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we can call that out here on Mean Girls Interrupted.
Missed opportunity. Her name is Marsha from here on out.
Yeah. I mean,
it's no longer Daisy Edgar Smurf. It's Marsha.
Marsha the Swamp Witch.
Marsha Edgar-Jones.
Yes. And so she moves on with her life, and this movie goes full into her
drawing
love life.
She's drawing some stuff.
Love life. Yeah, she's drawn a whole bunch of like nature drawings, and then she meets Chase Andrews.
She meets Mr. Teeth.
Mr. Teeth.
How does she meet Mr. Teeth? Oh, on the beach. She's drawing on the beach, and they're all playing volleyball. He
looks over at her and like checks her out, and then like he comes to her house?
No, he doesn't go to the house yet. He says, I'm going to pick you. How does this happen?
I don't know, but he like fully inserts himself into her life. And like, we know that he's like a
creep. He's a total creep.
like controlling and whatever, like clearly just using her. And so they start hooking up and doing the things, and it goes on for a while. And then
John, there's literally no chemistry between the two of them.
Zero chemistry.
Absolutely
that's the point.
None. I get it. I get that that's the point. 'Cause she says, I don't know how I feel about Chase Andrews, but
I don't know. I never knew how I felt about baby.
But I wasn't alone. John, can you imagine that's your relationship is, I actually hate this person, but I'm no longer alone.
Yeah. And then one day so she gets some really great news about a book club publishing deal. And so she wants to celebrate. So she's in town. She buys a little bit of groceries and she bumps into Chase Andrews.
And he's like, what are you doing here, Marcia?
And he's with his friends. So that's been established that he can't talk to her around his friends. Yep. And then, but also one of them is his fiance.
He goes, hi, you guys all know Kaya. And the fiance goes, oh, hey, Marsh girl, right? She's like, it's nice to meet you. I'm Chase's fiance. And she flashes the biggest diamond ring. John, I almost cut my teeth on it. I said, that ring was huge.
Yeah. So she runs back home, but Chase is on the chase.
Chase is on the chase. John, I love that.
Cool. So he like immediately shows up at her place and she hides from him, and he's pissed because he needs to have what he wants at all times. So he's like obsessed with her. And then one day he catches up with her on the beach. He's like, I knew I'd find you here. And then we have a whole like rape moment.
No, it's a full rape scene.
Well, she thwarts it because she beats the shit out of him.
With like a conch shell or something.
A conch shell, and then she kicks the shit out of him.
John, I love that.
And then runs away. And then we see that he's like trying to find her thereafter, and she's like always living in fear, which she doesn't want to do.
Yeah. He wrecks her house.
He won't stop. Yeah, he wrecks all of her shit.
Which is really rude. She worked very hard on that house.
Yeah, it was very annoying. And then like Tate shows up and it's like sees her black eye. And then
Tate shows up after 4 years, by the way. Everyone, this takes place 5 years later. Tate is magically there.
He's like, I love you.
And Kaya's like, get the F off my porch.
He's like, can you still love me, please?
She's throwing
and she's
full
like,
rocks at him. She said, hi, David and Goliath. Welcome to the Bible.
Yeah, but long story short, the trial goes very well, and she gets a not guilty verdict.
Well, we forgot to tell the people after. This is where it gets dicey because they try to give you a red herring. Tate's like, go on your meeting that you were going to have with your publishers. Come back in a week. All will be fine. I love you. And she's like, okay, all right. And within that time, she gets on the bus, she leaves, and guess who dies? Chase Andrews mysteriously falls through a magic tower.
Right. You're supposed to kind of suspect
Tate did it.
Tate, but turns out, so Tate is not guilty. Chase Andrews is dead and gone. And then so she ends up getting back together with Tate, and they have a long life in the swamp.
They both become swamp mommy and daddy.
Yeah, and then elderly Kaya is floating around in her boat, and she basically dies just saying the word "mama."
John, I was like, okay. So I saw the ghost rolling up. She was coming down the way.
She was stomping the runway.
John, she was
fully
living.
She was like, she was chewing up the scenery with that walk.
John, she was a me in the meatpacking district while you and all of your friends were smoking cigarettes outside of New York fashion or the New York thing. And I was stomping my way up to you guys. That was me and her. I felt it.
Yeah, you're like, bitch.
God, she said, my moment to shine.
Like, this is me. And then Daisy Edgar-Jones was like, not so fast. This is my movie.
Yeah, Marcia, excuse me.
Marcia Clark.
So Marcia Clark dies in the boat.
She dies in the boat, and then Tate's like, no. And then after decades of living with this woman, he's reading her diary after she's dead.
Which, that's the best time to read someone's diary, John, the dirt.
The dirt.
Imagine.
I would never, by the way.
I would.
I don't want to know certain things about a person.
John, I would, because I want to know who I'm burying.
You're like, am I going to love it or am I going to hate burying this
Like,
person?
how is this going to play out?
Like, how is this going to influence my my grief process?
Yes. Are my tears going to be happy that the person has died or sad that the person has died?
Yeah, but Tate finds the hardcore evidence that
Kaya did in fact murder Chase Andrews, aka Mr. Teeth.
Mr. Teeth, gotta love it.
She killed her predator.
And then that's the end of the movie.
She killed her predator, y'all. He deserved it, TBH. He was a total dick face.
Very much deserved it. You don't feel bad about a Chase Andrews death in this world.
There wasn't. The moment I saw his face, I said, ugh.
Ew.
Let's buy some shoes.
Like, it's a testament to the acting, I think, of Harris Dickinson, because he is a very attractive person.
John, there wasn't one part of him that I didn't want to punch.
Right. Because of his demeanor, the acting, everything about him was just like, I'm like, you have become unattractive.
John, the American stereotype must be so strong because people who play a douchebag American do it so well. Because John, that's accurate. We went to school with people just like Chase.
We did.
Total cunts, and I would not be sad if they were dead.
Right.
I don't want them to die, but I'm not going to be sad if they pass.
Right. Yeah. We did grow up where the Crawdads Sing.
John, we actually did grow up
Yikes.
where the Crawdads
Frozen in time.
So weird that we could relate to this.
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a Kaya?
No, because I don't have that great a skin.
You want to know what, though? What's so crazy is like we go back to school where there was a girl literally having sex in a canal and her nickname became Crawdads. This literally happened.
She knows where the Crawdads sing.
She knows where the Crawdads sing.
She done went to where the Crawdads sang.
John, can you imagine?
And they gave her a medley of like the dirtiest, nastiest songs.
For those of you, everyone listening right now, this is a true story. We had a person at our school. Her nickname became Crawdads because she was caught by the school security guard having sex with her boyfriend in an empty canal. And her name, there on out, became Crawdads. So fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's just being a teenager,
John,
though, right?
Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I love all like these YA movies and trends like on Netflix and shows and everything, but they don't really show teenagers as they are. Teenagers are nasty,
messy,
disgusting,
dude,
drug addicted, and not in a euphoria, glossy, beautiful kind of way.
No.
Like these are meth addicts getting down and dirty in the canal behind the school. I
don't want to call them meth addicts because they weren't.
Everyone's addicted to cigarettes.
Dude, everyone was smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, and like it's just
everyone was getting drunk on oranges that they had syringed vodka into.
Yeah, like in my freshman year of high school, we had off-campus lunch, and I would go get high and drunk off of screwdrivers before second half of school.
Honestly, why not?
Like, I mean, yeah.
This was John. Is it just an American thing, or is this truly?
No. I think teenagers are just wild,
disgusting. Which why none of this makes sense.
Right. But then you see like these depictions of like YA like shows and things like that. And they're like teenagers who have dealing with like murder mysteries.
Yeah. Literally not a single one of them has ever had a pimple.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, if you have a job at 16 years old, like you are now you're in your mind, you're a full adult and don't need any of your parents anymore. Yeah, that's the mentality, and you're allowed to do whatever you want.
That's how I thought.
Screw whatever you want. spend money on whatever you want, and you just can't wait to fly the coop. And then you realize at 30 that you were just a child.
You're like, wow, I was actually so reckless.
Yeah.
Reckless. And that's all of us as teenagers.
Where are the crawdads? Where are the crawdads sing? Yep.
So that's the movie, everyone.
Yeah. Travis, how did you feel about this movie? I think I got a little bit of a read on how your review might go.
I think you did get a little bit of a read. So there's a reading. Basically, it's this. I can understand why there would be people out there who would like this movie. For me,
who's that audience?
The audience is someone else. So out of 10 pearly whites on your deceased skull,
rotting corpse.
Yes, on your rotting corpse, out of 10, and here, I know this is going to be too high. I'm going to give this a 5. I sit on the fence because I was watching this movie and I didn't have a hard time finishing it, but also there was a lot of this movie that I was like, I'm not going to subscribe to it, but you can if you want to. It's not a terrible movie. It's just not great. Like, it's
lackluster. It is a 5.
It's a 5 mediocre for me. It's not like I can truly understand the market for this. Like, whenever when they're standing around and those leaves are spinning, I was like, girl, someone in that movie theater flooded their basement.
Yeah, they're like, this is my fantasy.
It was so
this
hot.
Is my romance.
So hot for them, dude.
They're like, I feel like an isolated swamp girl too.
The movie's not a bad movie. It's not a movie for me, per se.
Me neither. I would say for me, I didn't enjoy it. Like, there wasn't one scene where I was like, oh, work at all. Like, even like the emotional climax of it all really didn't get me. I would say I kind of don't like that it focused on her romantic life at all. Like, that it felt very like one note, very like stereotypical, like a girl
and her boyfriends.
Yeah, between two completely opposite men who represent like her abusive father dynamic and her like issues with abandonment. It just felt like, for the setup of a girl who was horribly abused.
Yeah.
And left to fend by herself at like the age of 8 and should have probably just died out there. Like, I feel like the performance of Daisy Edgar-Jones could have been a lot deeper. Like, and I think it was more like a directing note for her, because like
sure.
she's shown like really dark sides and other things that she's done. So I think the tone of it was too bright and glossy for the context.
Because the context,
you know what I mean?
The whole thing plays out as this town who knows nothing about the Marsh girl literally wants to put her to death, which she's in the cop car and they're like, you're a murderer, screaming in the street. I forgot about that part.
Yeah, that was weird.
I'm like, okay, town mob, shut the front door.
I know.
You know what? Actually, I'm not going to give this a 5. Can I take my 5 back?
Change your mind? Yeah, you can take all your 5 back.
Can I take my 5 back and give this movie a 3?
Yes, you can. Okay. That's what I was going to give it.
Because I'm going to give this movie a 3. The more I think about it, when Tate shows back up, her entire life is about abandonment. Everyone left her. And he shows up and within 3 seconds, she's like, all right.
She's like, cool, whatever. I'm not going to be put into jail anymore. Fine.
The thing is, this isn't a 5. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely a 3 for me. And it's like, just because I do appreciate Daisy Edgar-Jones and what she did with this material, and but she does carry the movie. Like, she is definitely an actress who's gonna be starring in movies.
Yeah.
Get over it.
I wouldn't watch this.
Whether we like it or not.
I would like it. I like her. I think she's, I want to see her. I want to see her do other things, but this was very, Very
it felt like it feels like there is a much cooler and deeper and more complex version of this movie that is more realistic. Yeah, but they elevated it into a fantasy romance.
Yeah,
on par with Notebook, the Notebook.
I didn't read the book, so I'm guessing it's way better. It always is. It's always way better.
Yeah, especially with this kind of a thing where it's like murder mystery, dead things.
Yeah, I love a good murder mystery.
Yeah, like, you know, like this is what I was getting the vibe was like, what if Gone Girl was adapted into a movie that was elevated and glossy and in a bright tone way?
No, I wouldn't have liked it.
You know what I mean?
I would have not liked that at all. Gone Girl was so good because it was dark.
Yeah, like what if David Fincher directed Where the Crawdads Sing?
John,
that's the version of this that I want.
Yeah, I would have been cool with that too.
Yeah, Gone Girl was good.
Gone Girl was very good. And Ben Affleck is very not my thing.
I know, right? But it's because Rosamund Pike is like
amazing.
Killing it. Yeah.
So, okay, let's get into what's the critics. What do the critics say?
Oh, right. Okay, let's see here. Very quickly going over to Rotten Tomatoes. Can you vamp while I get there?
Oh, yes. Okay, so I have a joke for all of you. It's really good. Okay, so let me get there. I'm pulling it off the top. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
Because it wanted to, bitch. So
very funny.
Thank you.
very, very solid. It had a twist, a turn.
Yeah, it had a twist and a turn.
Unexpected answer. And I loved it. So anyway, thank you so much for that. Just kidding. But, so, as you would imagine, the critics agree. They gave it a 34%.
John, how are we? Okay.
We are the authority of all the critics.
John,
all of them.
Okay. For all of you out there who truly listen to us on the regular, email us. Should we start a blog? Because we can start a blog. I'll type up some stuff.
That's too much work for me.
Oh, John, trust me. It's almost no work for me.
Okay. Well, how about you guys, if you want that to happen, email us at Travis and nope.
No, we're not doing that
mean
one.
Girls
That's our old one.
meangirlsinterrupted@gmail.com or go to www.meangirlsinterrupted.com and you can contact us there as well as listen to us and also like, follow, comment, subscribe. Anyway, but you know what the audience score for this movie was?
Let me take a guess. I truly have no clue.
Please do. Please do.
As you all know, I need to let you know, I don't check Rotten Tomatoes. I do nothing. I base this purely off of how I'm feeling. I could be completely wrong. The audience score for this movie is an 8.7.
97%.
What?
Fresh.
They almost gave it 100%.
It has to be out of loyalty for the book.
John, people love this movie.
Crazy.
I'm sorry.
I don't think so, because this is what the critics' consensus is. Daisy Edgar-Jones gives it her all, but Where the Crawdads Sing is ultimately unable to distill its source material into a tonally coherent drama. That's very much sums it up.
Yeah, sorry. This movie is not good.
Yeah, and the audience says a particular treat for viewers who love the book. Where the Crawdads Sing is a faithfully told, well-acted story in a rich, beautifully filmed setting.
I will say the set, John, I was like, that's what the Carolinas look like? Girl, I'll go. I'll pay you a visit.
I loved the look of the swamps, because swamps in America, at least, are not like bogs. No,
they're
despair.
They're gorgeous, dude.
Lush, green, watery, biodiverse.
What? That's what's crazy to me. They call her Marsh Girl if it's the bad thing. I'm like, dude, have you seen the marsh she lives at? She lives 5 steps from one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever seen. She lives in a
Thomas Kincaid cabin.
I'm not kidding. She looks.
It's not a shanty.
No, she lives in a painting.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, we're out of time.
Don't watch this movie if you don't want to. Watch it if you want to.
Yeah. But if you want to watch it, it's streaming on Netflix right now.
Right this second.
So subscribe to Netflix.
And subscribe to us first. Comment, rate, review. We love all of you. Thank you for listening to Where the Crawdads Sing and Mean Girls Interrupted. We have another episode coming out this week. It'll be out on Thursday. These come out on Tuesday.
Be Die Hard.
It's going to be Die Hard. Everyone, John and I have never watched it, but guess what?
We have never watched it, and it's Christmas.
And it is a Christmas movie, despite any of what you bitches think.
Right. I mean, there's Christmas trees and everything. Anyway, well, to get into it over there. So we're going to see you at the movies.
Roll the credits, ya big old pile of teeth.